Hi, I'm Connor Schweikert. I'm Michael Goff.
Latasha Nicholson.
I'm Logan Donnelly.
And I'm Roland Cady. And we are building a water fountain. The constraints placed upon the water building project are as follows. The fountain must continuously and automatically circulate liquid. The spatial constraints of the design must fit into a 2x2 area. It must be electrically safe so that nobody gets zapped. A significant number of points are added for free-falling water. You must seek to minimize splashing. No live animals may be used. And you must seek to be creative.
I'm going to be covering the feasibility study we went through for the engineering design cycle. We looked at some typical fountain designs and came up with a few that we liked. The first design involved a water pump that would shoot water out of 4 different spouts into an arc, and then we would use multicolored LEDs for a cool effect. This became our primary idea, though after some work we realized that the pump was actually broken, that we had glued it shut, and that we had to buy a second one, and it was not as strong as we would have hoped. And our second design was a pump system that would bring water up and fill up a little bowl at the top until it overflowed, and it would provide a continuous stream of water down the sides. We chose this as our fallback design as it seemed possible to do with the weak pump that we had. Our third design was to have a model head that would spew water out of its mouth into a bowl. However, none of us had much artistic ability, and any models that we could find were too expensive, and we didn't want to go over budget, so we decided not to use this one. And it probably would have ended up looking like the butt of a dog, and it could have been deemed inappropriate given the audience, so we just went with the original, or the secondary design.
Our main components for producing our fountain consisted of the pump, epoxy glue, and tubing. The first pump we decided to use was a fish pump. We thought this pump would work for our final project. The epoxy glue was used to hold the tubing inside the pump. It took a while to set and got stuck inside the fish pump. The 25-foot tubing was also used in our design to run from the pump to the top of the fountain. We would cut the tubing to our desired length and glue it into the pump so water would run through the tube. The preliminary design for our water fountain did not work with the intended fish pump. The pump was filled with epoxy, and the water could barely make its way up through the tube. There was no way the preliminary design would work with the fish pump since it had epoxy glue stuck in it. The original idea proved to be unrealistic with our problems with the pump.
The first step to construct the fountain was to drill holes into the base to allow water to flow to the pump, as well as a large hole at the top of the base to let the PVC pipe fit. After that, we glued the PVC pipe to the base. Next, we painted the base and the top of the fountain to look like a mushroom. Next, we fed the water pump tube through the PVC pipe to the top and glued all the pieces together. It took us 2 separate days to construct the project to allow glue to dry.
The pump kit we ordered turned out to have an issue maintaining a decent water pressure, so after reviewing our designs we decided to go with the mushroom as the final product. Due to the weak pump, we decided that having the water overflow on top of the mushroom would lead to a more dazzling design than the slight trickle the pump produced. We used materials we had already acquired by placing the bowl of the first fountain in a bigger basin to hold the water as well as hide the pump from view. The original stand we decided to attach to PVC pipe to form the mushroom shape. The smaller pool up top would fill with water and flow over the mushroom, falling into the basin. Finding a way to increase water pressure in our system may have perfected the design, as that was the root of all of our problems in constructing the fountain. Finally, we decided on a red and white paint pattern to incorporate our school colors on the project, leading us to our final product.
The first test of the water fountain was very successful. We plugged it in and it immediately worked, although there was a lot of splashing. At the freshman engineering design day, our fountain was graded. Although we met the basic requirements of continuously pumping water and a size constraint of a 2x2 area, we were deducted points for not incorporating liquid defying gravity, not incorporating creativity in operation or concept, and creativity in sound, light, color, and movement, as well as points taken off for splashing. Overall, we got 18 points out of 37.5 and tied for last place.
In conclusion, we learned that not all pumps are equal.